My Necrotic should fall off here. Actually, this ad's gonna keep it up, so let me throw stun on it. Actually, I'm gonna AMS here. So this ad is keeping my Necrotic debuff on. It's supposed to reset when he does the downdraft, but because I had the on me, it was keeping it up. So I just AMS'd so that my stack would drop. I'm gonna hold Bone Storm here. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I want to hold my Bone Storm here. I don't want to use it. Again, it's just the whole debate, you know, do you want to use it for a boss or for trash? And I intend to pull 2 groups here on the next pull, so I want to make sure that it's up for the beginning of the pull. Again, moving for the breath. Pretty easy to get out of. There's a Whelpling here that's going to make my Necrotic go up, but the boss is dead, so that's alright. So making sure my stack is going to fall off. My healer's lagging behind, he's pretty far back. So I'm just going to pull this 1 pack, which is not ideal. I'm going to use my Bone Storm here though, because I want it up for the pack that's right before the boss, because it's going to be a pretty nasty pull. I'm not going to have to kite it all here. I'm just going to interrupt Shadow Bolts here. These are mostly casters, so they don't melee. Necrotic gets out of hand when there's like a lot of really small ads that just melee really frequently. Casters are pretty easy because they will stand there and cast, and so they're not hitting you actually for quite a while. Let me interrupt that. Here I'm trying to, okay, I'm going to grip this in for more cleave. I'm going to consumption here. I'm going to AMS here as well and use Vamp Blood just because I'm pretty high stack and I don't want to die. And I didn't want to kite this pack, mostly because it's casters, and casters are a lot less useful to kite. So here I know that this next pack is going to be pretty brutal, so I'm going to wait 3 seconds here for my buff, even though DPS is probably impatient. Okay, I'm going to pull. I'm going to make sure that I get aggro here pretty quick, but I'm actually pretty, I want to be ready to dip on this pack, because this pack hurts. So I'm going to use my D&D here. I'm already at 13, 14 stacks, so I'm going to start kiting here. I'm just going to, and I also got a stun there as well. I got a Mind Bomb, so very easy to kite here. I am losing out on my damage that I would do, but it's better that I don't damage than possibly die. D&D here, and I'll just stay in here, obviously. I mean, this one mob isn't going to kill me, so I'll just stay there. So here I'm actually going to use my Dancing Rune weapon and my Bone Storm, because this is going to be a big pull, and I'm a lot more worried about this pull than the boss. The boss is going to be pretty easy. I'm going to pre-pot here as well, and I'm going to make sure that I get a good grip, or that they're pretty stacked. So I'm going to start with a mass grip, go into Bone Storm, do my Blood Boils. I'm going to grip this mob in here. I'm going to use my Arcane Torrent here in a second when I see some casts. Alright, use it now. Put it on a D&D. Keep my Blood Boils going. Use my Consumption here for damage. And I'll AMS at this point as well. Look at how much damage I'm doing. I'm doing over 1 million DPS. Oh man, the Demon Hunter barely beat me at the end. So that's why I prefer to use my damage cooldowns, my Dancing Rune. Dancing Rune is, I mean, there's obviously a 40% parry chance on it, but I kind of view it more as like a damage cooldown, just because you do so much more damage when it's up. But what I was saying is I just much prefer that than use it on bosses, because you will see like a little bit of a damage increase on bosses using it, but you're gonna see your damage just spike really hard on AoE when you use Dancing Rune. So I'm trying to think here when my Necrotic is going to be able to reset, and I can't actually think of a time. So I'm just going to, I'm going to sit on my Icebound, because I'm going to save it for when I get higher stacks. I have Waking Nightmare, and the Demon Hunter is just running all over the place. I'm going to AMS right now. Okay, I can't actually, because the Demon Hunter is just moving all over the place. So basically I'm just not taking much damage here at all, so I'm not really worried about using cooldowns. So I'm going to focus more on my damage. Use Bone Storm here. Consumption. Again, bosses are just very easy. It's rarely is a boss gonna threaten the Death Knight here on, especially like a 9 where it's not like Fortified or Necrotic. Or I mean, Tyrannical, sorry. So I'm like totally fine. I have like all my cooldowns still. I still have Vamp Blood, AMS, and Icebound that I didn't use. Oh, we only 2 chests of that. That's kind of sad. I feel like a 3 chest was very doable there. So I got a pretty garbage ring. Let me just check here what other people are getting. So that's basically my guide for Blood Decay. The one pullout I screwed up, I did already explain what I did wrong, but basically I AMS'd late, and then also my AMS, like, it broke early because the damage was absorbed. And so what I should have done is I should have consumption before I got knocked back, and I also should have kited sooner. So I just played that one really wrong, but other than that, I feel like I played it pretty well. I feel like I reset my Necrotic adequately for the situations. So I'm going to do a quick guide over the talents and why I take them. I haven't played Blood too much recently, to be honest. I am a Frost DK mostly. I do have like the ring and stuff for Frost, so I could explain better how to play Frost, but I'll just, you know, I'm okay at Blood. I've tanked quite a bit. So Heart Strike gains 2 additional hits. So basically everything that I try to do here on my Blood DK is more focused for trash than it is for single target fights. And so I want to do what's best for like my AoE damage and also surviving AoE. So I took this for Heart Strike because when you have Dancing Rune Weapon up, you want to get a lot of Heart Strikes out. That and Blood Boiling is how you do a lot of damage. So I took this talent as opposed to Blood Worms and Blood Drinker. Again, I like rapid decomposition for just death and decay kind of stuff. These ones, I don't know, I mean, they're okay, but this one is definitely my favorite. I take this one. Blood Tap is, I don't know, I haven't messed around with it too much, but AMS is kind of good, or this one. But I don't know, I guess I just really like this one more. I don't know, this whole row is not actually that good, so I just took this one. Red Thirst, this one's pretty good. I really like the cooldown reduction on Vamp Blood because Vamp Blood's a pretty strong cooldown, even though it's only a 1 minute cooldown. They're asking if I wanted to do more, but I'm not going to. Mark for Blood is kind of good. It's more of a single target cooldown though, because it only puts it on one enemy and such, and so again, I'm just trying to go for AoE. So this one is between Tightening Grip and Tremble Before Me. If it's not a Necrotic week, there's more reason you'd want to go Tremble Before Me, but I don't know, I still like Tightening Grip. I think that the 30 seconds off of Mass Grip is really good, and Tremble Before Me, it's good, but I feel like I mean, it's just so RNG when it procs that it could be really clutch. You know, it could fear like right before like a Chaos Bolt or something goes off, or it could just be pretty lackluster and it could not do much. So I usually just stay Tightening Grip or Tightening Grasp, sorry, but it's either between this and this. March of the Damned is just not very good. This row, for some single target fights, you're going to want to take Rune Tap, like maybe like a Cenarius fight, when there's like a single ability that does a lot of damage. So Rune Tap is good there, but again, Foul Bulwark is just kind of like a more overall, like a Mythic Plus. I think it's a better Mythic Plus talent. You just have more health when you have Bone Shield stacks, and you should be maintaining at least 5 stacks of Bone Shield, if not more. And then this one, Purgatory, is really good. I really like Purgatory. However, they did increase the like the cooldown on it, which is kind of sad, but it's understandable. Blood Mirror's a single target. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm trying to go AoE focused. I feel like blood DKs shine better in AoE situations, well, damage-wise, obviously. But if I'm gonna help my group through damage, then I'm gonna be using my cooldowns on AoE because my single target is pretty low. And so I like Bone Storm a lot, especially because like Bone Storm is actually pretty similar to like the Frost DK talent. What's it called? Breath of Syndragosa. Basically because you're like when you have Dancing Rune Weapon up, you're focused on like doing your damage abilities, obviously, because you're getting double cast of them. So like you're going to be heart striking and blood boiling, and so you're going to be getting all this runic power, and you're not really going to want to take the time to use it up. And so if you can, through Bone Storm, you can basically just dump your runic power. You know, you want to use it at full runic power generally, and so you can just dump all that runic power instead of trying to be efficient and, you know, death striking and stuff when you have cooldowns up. And Bone Storm itself does quite a bit of damage. So let me look at this pull right before the boss that I destroyed. As you'll see, Bone Storm is actually my #1 damage. Did 25% of the damage I did that pull, and then Blood Boil and Heart Striking. And D&D did actually quite a bit of damage, 15% of my damage. So that's my blood DK guide. If you guys want to learn more about how I deal with some of the other fixes, like, let me look here at what the other fixes are coming up. Teaming Necrotic, that's what it is this week. Raging Volcanic, you know, you play things a little bit differently. You're gonna kind of you may wanna kite when mobs are low, although I guess it does depend on the situation. Bolstering, Skittish is gonna be pretty annoying. Again, everyone deals with bolstering the same way. You just kill mobs at the same time. Skittish, you're just gonna want to try to do as much AoE threat as you can because everything's gonna be just snapping off of you. So Skittish is annoying. I might do a guide on it if I do remember. I'll try to tank a dungeon there and show you how best to deal with Skittish. Sanguine, Overflowing. DK excels at Sanguine because you can Death Grip and Mass Grip and silence things out of pools if they're sitting there casting. But what else could I explain? To be honest, I don't really know what's best in slot for legendaries. I do have the cloak, which is okay-ish, I guess. It does have effect when you're tanking, and it makes Necrotic a little bit easier to deal with because you can absorb more damage with it before it breaks. But that's pretty much the only good thing about the cloak. And then I have a ring that does nothing for my spec. Again, I'm a Frost Death Knight main, but so I actually don't want to go over the legendaries just because I feel like I can't actually explain which ones are good and which ones are not as good. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment and let me know what I can do better. Thanks, guys.